Good morning all. Welcome to the Python programming workshop. In this session, we will going to discuss for loops in Python. My name is Professor Amol M. Jagtap. So let's start with our session. Python for loops. For loops in general are used for sequential traversal. It falls under the category of definite iteration. So what is definite iteration? Definite iterations means the number of repetitions is specified at explicitly in advance. Means we know how many iterations are there. We can predict how many repetitions are there in this for loop. So for loop falls under the category of definite iterations. Now in Python, for loops only implements the collection based iterations. While fall under the category of indefinite iteration. We will see this part previously in while loop lecture. Indefinite iterations means that the number of times the loop is executed isn't specified explicitly in advance, which is the main part in the while loop. We cannot predict how many iterations are there, but we can predict it in the for loop in the Python. Okay, so for loops are used for sequential traversal. For example, traversing a list or string or array or dictionary, anything we can use for loop. In Python, there is no C, Java, C# like style for the for loop. That means in other languages, mostly for loop is having this syntax: for in parenthesis, first is initialization statement, then condition, and then reinitialization statement is there. But for in loop in Python is somewhat different, which is similar to for each loop in Java and C#. Yes. Okay. So we will know what is for loops, and for loops are definite iteration. Okay. So move on to the next part. For in loop, which is similar to for each loop in other some languages like Java, C#. Let us learn how to use for in loop for sequential traversal. Just first find what is the syntax. So what is the syntax? Syntax is for variable name in iterable. So this first value of this iterable is coming in the variable, and that we have to make iterations or whatever manipulation on that variable in the body of for loop. So what is the syntax? For variable name in iterable colon, then statements in the for loop or body of for loop. Here iterable is a collection of objects like array, string, list, tuples, etc. The variables in for loop takes the value of the next item of the iterable each time through the next iteration. Even strings are iterable objects. They contains a sequence of characters. We know what is string. String is nothing but the set of characters or sequence of characters. Okay, so let's take one example. For x is the name of the variable in Amol, that is the string. Then give colon and print x. So what happens? This x first character, that is a, is come into the x variable, assigned to the x variable, and that is printed. Then for the next iteration, m second character is come into the x variable or assigned to the x variable, and that get printed. In similarly iterations, there are 4 iterations are there. We can predict prior. Okay, so just check whether it works or not using PyCharm IDE. So in PyCharm IDE, create new file, new Python file, give the name for 222. Okay, so it creates my file in this, what we have to do, just check for, you can give any name, I, in for in, and give the name of the string, suppose Amol, and then don't forget to write colon. Yes guys, next what we want to do, print. What do you have to print? Print the value of variable I. Okay, let's check whether it works or not. Okay, so each time each character is displayed on the next line. Why it is displayed on the next line? Because we know print method end character is /n, new line. Okay guys, understood what is, how for loop, for in loop is executed in the Python. Okay, great. So move on to the next part. In Python, mostly range function is used. So what is the range function? Range function returns a sequence of numbers starting from 0 by default and increments by 1 by default and ends at the specified number. So how we can use the range function? So for x in the range 5, here 5 means end character, end. Okay, start is not specified, then it is by default 1, by default 0, and increment, how much value we can increment, that is third argument we cannot specify, that's why it is incremented by 1 only. So print x. So what is the output of this program? So output is 0 to 4. 5 is excluded. So note that range 5 displays the values from 0 to 4 but not the values from 0 to 5. Okay guys, we will check it on PyCharm IDE. So remove this code. For, you can give any name, x in range, x in the range, you can give the range, suppose 5. Okay, give semicolon, then print. What do you have to print? Value in x we want to print. Okay, so check it whether it works or not. Yes, it works. What is the output? 0 to 4, that is the output, not 5 get displayed because range starts from 0 by default and incremented by 1. Guys, okay, but what is the range function? I will show you the how many arguments and what arguments are required for the range function. So range, okay, so on the tooltip, what is the first argument? Start int means starting value, then stop, what is the second value? Stop value, and then step, how many steps you want to increment that value. These are the 3 values required for the range function. But if you specify 1 only, then no problem, you can specify only 1, that is first and third argument is by default, means starting range is 0 and step is 1 by default, that means 0 to 4 it is incremented. Okay, so understood what is the range function? Range function is very much useful in the for loops. Okay, so increment the sequence with 2. Default is 1, we can increment is 2. How? So for that, for x in range 2, we want to print values from 2 to 10 and increment that values by step 2. So this is the code, range 2 comma 10 comma 2 colon print x. So it will display the values. Okay, I will just check using PyCharm. Okay, so what we know, so from 2 to 10 we want to display the values and increment by 2. So what is the expected output, guys? Yes, 2, 4, 6 and 8. Okay, so if you don't specify this 2, then what happens? Let's check. Okay, so from 2 to 9 values get displayed and increment by 1 only. So this is the thing, if you specify it 4, 5, then 2 to 10 values get displayed and increment or step is 5. So let's check what is the output. So only 2 and 7. After 7 plus 5 it gives you 12, but it is not in the range. That is last value is 10 only. Guys, I hope you understand the range function in for. That is most important function used in the for loop. Yes. So move on to the next point in for loop. Break statement and continue statement in Python for loop. We actually see this part in the while loop also. Break statements brings control out of the loop. If x is equal to 10, then break the loop. Then for x in range 5, if x is equal to 2, break it. So check it and print x. So check it on your IDE. So what is the thing? X in the range. What is the range? By default is 10, suppose. So it displays the values from 0 to 9. Okay, great. Just check it whether it displays values from 0 to 9. Yes, it displays the values from 0 to 9, guys. Okay, what we want to print it, but if x is equal to what? 2, then break it. Then break it. So what is the output, guys? Let's check. So output is 0 and 1. Why 0 and 1? Because if x becomes 2, break statement is executed and control goes out of this for loop. So check it by using some give message. When for loop get completed, then give the message exit for loop. Okay. So let's check what is the output. 0, 1 and exit for loop. Now we can use toggle breakpoint here, print statement, and right click and click debug your program. So what happens? Okay, so console, there is nothing get displayed. Debugger F7 to debug. So x become initially 0, then x is equal to 0 is equal to 2, condition false, print x. So what get displayed on the console? Let's check 0 and 1. After that 2 is equal to 2. Control goes inside the if statement, that is the break is the statement. So if you execute break, automatically runtime cursor goes out of the for loop and comes to the printf statement, and then it executes and terminate the loop. So what is the output? 0, 1 and exit the for loop. So in this way we can check debugging. Debug, D means removing, bugs means errors, runtime errors or logical errors. Guys, hope you understand this part. So we will move on to the next part. So what is the next part? Continue statements returns the control to the beginning of the loop. If x is equal to 10, then don't print 2 value on the console using a continue statement. So first x in the range 5, x is equal to 2, continue and print x. So let's check on your PyCharm IDE. So instead of break statement, what we want to do? Use continue statement. What is the use of continue statement? Continue statement does not break the whole loop, but it continues the iteration. That means it keeps the body below the continue statement, that is print x. So let's check whether what is the output of this. Okay, so what is the output? 0, 1, 2 does not get printed, because if x is equal to 2, continues means it continues the loop, and this print x statement is not executed at this time. So 2 does not get displayed. Guys, hope you understand this concept. If you have any problem related to this for loop, let me know and write the query in comment box or chat window. Yes, great. Now we will move on. Program on for loop. So today we will take one program on this for loop. What is the program? Program is to check if the number is prime or not using for in loop in Python. So guys, we know, first take the number from the user using input method, typecast it into integer so that num becomes integer type. Okay, flag setting, we will discuss that flag setting in afterwards. Now what is the prime number? We know what is the prime number. The number which is completely divisible by only 1 and itself, then that number is called as a prime. For example, 5 is a prime number, 7 is a prime number because 5 is divisible by only 1 and 5 itself, not by 2, 3, 4 other numbers. Okay, hope you understand. That means prime number is the number which is only divisible by 1 and itself only. So in the programming language there is no keyword for the only. So how to predict, how to write the code? So this definition we will reverse it, like any number which is not divisible by from 2 to number minus 1, then that number is a prime number. There is no keyword only. Let's think on that. Okay, what is the meaning? Prime number, suppose 5 from 2 to 4, that is number minus 1. We cannot divide any. 5 is not divisible by 2, 3 or 4 itself. So 5 is a prime number. But 6 is divisible by 2. Yeah. If it is divisible by any number from 2 to number minus 1, that number is not prime number. So first, that number we want to divide by 2 to number means actually number minus 1. So check if num mod of I is equal to 0. If it is 0, then print num is not a prime number. What is the use of flag? We will discuss it later on. Then break. What is the use of break? Or if flag is equal to 0, if flag is equal to 0, remains 0, that means cursor does not enter to the if statement, then automatically the number is prime. Number is prime. Here one thing is there, that means we understand that number is not prime is predicted before number is prime. If number is 7, so we does not understand number is prime or not till we divisible 7 by 2 to 6. Okay, but 6 is a prime, not prime, because 6 is divisible by 2 itself, so it is not a prime. So no need to divisible by 3 and 4, 5. Okay, understood guys? Okay, we will check it using the PyCharm ID. Okay, so let's move on. Remove this whole code, delete it. Okay, so first take one number, num is equal to int, typecast it, input, in input method write enter any number. Okay, input any number. Okay, yes, you knows that. Then we want to check whether, so for I in range. So what is the range? Range means we want to divide that number from 2 to num. Okay, from 2 to num. Okay, give the colon. After that, what we would want, if that number mod of 2 is equal to 0. If it is 0, then print number is not prime. Got it? Okay. Otherwise it is prime, but we cannot write else here. If you write else print number is prime. Is it true, guys? Yes. Let's check whether it runs correctly or not. Enter any number. Suppose 5. Number is prime. Array, how many times it displayed? So my code is somewhat wrong. So else is not here. Else is not, we want here. Okay. So when number is prime, when from 2 to number minus 1, that number is not divisible, that is remainder is not 0. Anytime for 5, 7, like this number remainder is not 0. Then and then only after this completion of for in loop, we decide that number is prime. So what is the control on the prime? If we don't know what is the condition, so for that what we have to do, we have to take one flag setting method. Flag, what is flag? Initial flag is 0. And if is executed, what we want? We want flag is equal to 1, guys. If flag is equal to 1, that means if this number is not prime, if number is not prime, then we cannot display number is prime. That means if this is executed, number is not prime, is executed, number is prime, statement does not exist. So at that time flag equal to 0, or if flag remains as it is, then this part of if body does not get executed. At that time print, what we have to print? Number is prime. Guys, just check whether it works or not. Enter any number. 7. We know 7 is a number, is a prime. Great. Now test for another number that is 22. Okay, what it gives you? Yeah, it gives you number is not prime, number is not prime, number is not prime, number is not prime. Why this happen? Because if number is not prime, once we decided, that is 22 divided by 2, it gives you remainder 0, so number is not prime. So why to divide it by 3, 4 and 5? That means we want to break it. So use which statement? Break statement. Break this loop. We don't need to divide 22 by 3, 4, 5. That's why this output comes like this. So use the break statement. Guys, now let's check whether it works or not. So enter number, suppose 22. Now what is the output? Number is not prime. Yes, great. So this is our expected output. We can finish it number of ways, but guys, just look at the code. This is the primary code for testing prime number. So what we have to do, we use flag setting method. Flag setting method is most important at the time of when the number is prime or not, odd or even, like this. Whenever the problem statement having two values, true or false, set or reset, at that time flag setting method is most important. Understood why we use flag? Because if this cursor goes to the body of if statement, then flag set to 1, and if flag set to 1, this condition is not executed. Okay guys, and why to use break? Because if number is divisible by 2, first number, then why to need to divide by 3, 4, 5? Okay, to skip it, what we use? Break. So just debug it. You can give toggle breakpoint at any line and then you can debug it. Okay, so right click, debug. So debugger will start in 1 or 2 seconds. Okay, so debugger is start. Okay, if debugger is start, go to debugger, no option is enable. Why? Because we want to take first values from the user, enter any number. So enter that number. Suppose 6 we want to enter. So if we enter it, then and then only debugger options are enabled. So initial what, num is equal to 6, flag is equal to 0, I is equal to 2. So let's debug it. So at the first time 6 is divisible by 0, number is not prime is displayed on the console, and break statement breaks the loop and cursor automatically goes out of the flag is equal to 0. Initially, now what is the value of flag? Flag is set, that's why flag is equal to 1. Now flag is equal to 1, then 1 equal to 0, condition false, so this statement does not get executed. So okay, so that is all about how to debug. So again check it for any prime number. So right click, debug again. So debugger will start within 1 second. Okay, so after that enter any number, suppose 5, press enter. After debugger, number is prime. Okay, so just debug once again. So debugger will start 5, enter 5, number is prime. Okay, so why? Because we give the toggle breakpoint at the flag 1, and that statement is not executed because there is no break, because when I is equal to 2 and num is equal to 5, it is not divisible. So give the toggle breakpoint somewhat in other point, so it whether it works or not. So debug. Okay, debugger will start, then give the value 5, press enter. Now toggle breakpoint is hit. Okay, if you give here in the flag is equal to 1, that part is not hit, that's why the cursor is not stopped at that point. Now execute your step-by-step execution. I becomes 3, then I becomes 3, flag is remains 0, number is equal to 5. Again execute, then I becomes 4, num is equal to 5, 5 mod of 2 not divisible. Okay, then flag is equal to 0, number is prime. Great. One mistake is there, guys. What is the mistake? Don't divisible by only 2, it is divisible by what? I itself. Okay, that is the main mistake, because we want to divide that number from 2 to num, so I is the variable value. So again run it and check whether it works. For suppose 9 is what? Number is not prime, it gives you correct output. Then run and take value something different, that is 11 is a prime number. Okay, number is prime. Great. I hope you understand. Not num mod of 2 only, num mod of I is required. And what is the range of I? 2 to num minus 1. Num is excluded, so last value is num minus 1. We have to divide. Okay guys, hope you understand this problem statement. Okay, so let's move. This is last point in this lecture. So thank you. In the next session we will discuss different problem statements on for and while else loops. Thank you all. Thank you for watching the video. Have a great day.